Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're in the world of the Napoleonic Europe once again with some more Napoleon Total War 3 as some Swedish skirmishers get chased down by some hussars from the French 3rd Corps here. And yeah, so we've got a great 2v2 battle for you today. This is a French 3rd Corps led by Marshal Ney himself. We also have a French Imperial Guard army. As you can see, this French cavalry is carrying on this Dutch Cavalry is just like going on in, and yeah, Ney's corps, 3rd Corps, is basically made up of various different nations, including the Dutch, as we've seen here. He's got Illyrians, he's got a lot of German units, he's got Italians, he's got all sorts. I'm pretty sure he's got nearly just about every nation that like the French ever conquered, like in his corps, basically. He's got so many. I think there's Portuguese as well. There is some interesting. It's an interesting corps, put it like that, and you can see here, yes, you can see like Weddenberg or Weddenberg, however you say it. What else have we got here? More from Wettenberg, clearly. A lot of units, as you can see here, from a lot of German states, and I mean, there's some Illyrians in there. It's hard to tell at the moment, but we'll have a look back here. You can see a smaller French force led by well, it's not even I don't think he becomes a marshal. Mortier, I think he might be a marshal at one point. He might not be. But he's also another one of Napoleon's finest generals, and he leads the guard in quite a lot of campaigns, actually. You've got some Flanders chasseurs, so that's cool. But yeah, he does lead the guard in often lots of campaigns across Europe, and you can see the chasseurs of the Old Guard, and we have the grenadiers of the Old Guard in here, which are like the famous ones. You can sort of see them there. But yes, this is a very, very elite column that's coming up in reserve to support the French main army here. So yes, we're facing, or not we, but the French are facing a Swedish force, and I believe also a British force, which is all the way back there, led by Rowland Hill by the looks of it. What British force is that? That's the Peninsular British Army. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can reach in time and take this, well, and hold back the French. Because the Swedes certainly need to just slow down the French as much as possible to allow the British to arrive. Obviously, the French probably want to take this, this village and then just knock the Swedish off the battlefield while they have the chance before the British arrive. And I mean, they've got a good chance of Carabiniers here. These are going to be good. And then what else we got here? Some light dragoons by the looks of it. But yeah, this is a pretty nice little defense got here. Got like a river, and it's got a bit of a raised ground here. I mean, we've got a town hall as well that's also, I think, worth 2. So if you're going for cap points, like you can see here on the map, you've got all these yellow little buildings. They're all normally I think they're worth some sort of point value. So usually if you want to go for them, then that's a good way to win. But it does look like in this one that they're not got any points on them. And I can see there is actually combat going on over here. The French have sent in some of their chevals, chasseurs de cheval. And they're going to rout, they might rout this hussar unit here, but they might then lose to the dragoons here. But there's also more coming up. Dragoons, got Imperial Dragoons coming up. These guys are nasty. In the fine greenery. Yeah, in the green of the French Dragoons, yeah, they've just routed just about everything. The Chasseurs Cheval did break, but they actually did break everything at the end. What have we got here? We've got Chevalier Lancers. I'm pretty sure there's a Mameluke unit somewhere that was brought by the Imperial Army, the Guard Army, but I can't see it. Is it back there? It is back there. They did actually join the fight, and you can see here artillery going off. Let's look at these Mamelukes. These guys, they should, after Napoleon's campaign in in Egypt, he wanted to obviously go to India through his Egyptian campaign, but yeah, he hired a lot of Mamelukes to basically his personal bodyguard, and it's a famous Mameluke that's by his side to the very end of his reign. Certainly his first reign. I don't know about Waterloo. I can't remember about that, but yeah, I can't remember his name. It looks like they're going to reattach this 4-pounder here and get it a little bit closer. It looks like you can see the French have got a huge amount of cavalry around here, flanking hard. What is this? This is all the German cavalry by the looks of it. All Guard Corps from Wettenberg. Well, this is going to be very nasty. And it's already the British are here. Wow. Okay, so the British have just ran their cavalry as quickly as possible to get here, I think. These light dragoons from Jamaica. Don't think they're very peninsular. And then we've got the King's Hussars here, the Tabs. Then we've got all dragoons, Carabiniers from Sweden. We've already seen both those units. There's a 4v, I think it's 4v5 at the moment on this side, so it's in favor of the French in numbers. I mean, there's so they could definitely try that. I mean, the French need to be like, I would have thought being aggressive, because like otherwise the British will arrive and like this position is just going to be so well entrenched. Because the French have numbers for now, but I think once the British arrive, the British will have the numbers, because the Guard army is not a large army. It's elite, yes, but it's not large. I mean, some of their units are large. That's a big, not Grenadier, Dragoon unit, 89 men. I can hear skirmish shots going off. I don't know where that is exactly. That might be over here. I think it is. I think it's these Flemish or Flanders chasseurs. Yeah, Flemish really. But yeah, if you're enjoying seeing Napoleon Total War on the channel, I'd love to see more NTW3. And do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. It does mean the world to me, and it does so much for the channel if you support with a like and a comment, or even just subbing. If you haven't already subbed, it's free. But as you can see, there's units in here in the town hall. But yeah, we're trying to get to 2,200 subs. We're very, very close as we work our way towards, well, I guess 2,500, I guess, is the real goal. But yeah, so I would appreciate all the subs and likes, and I hope you guys enjoy. As you can see here, Ney is getting his first units of line infantry to come up. I don't know what Les Picarins means. It's not like the most French out of all of his units, but they actually need to get a move on. They need to like get out of this line of sight of this building. They're getting shot up quite nastily. It looks like the Swedes are going to retreat. They're giving up more and more like room in this town. They're quite happy to let the French come into the town, it would seem. Don't know how big the Swedish army is. That is the question. Units keep disappearing, then reappearing elsewhere, possibly. I mean, I've now seen their line infantry for the first time. Their line infantry never like astounds me as being good. Like, it doesn't look like it's of the right period. They do look very revolutionary here. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Swedes are supposedly got quite a good army. I mean, from what I can remember, like, is Charles the Great or something like that? I can't remember. There's like a Charles, I'm pretty sure. There's someone that's like the Great that's for Sweden. You see here, they're going to send in some light infantry from Wittenberg. That's a bold statement. I don't even know what's in there. I think it's, well, there's Swedish troops, but I don't know. They might be militia. Yeah, these light infantry here are getting absolutely like annihilated. And you see there, what is it? Oh, it's a guard unit. Oh, no. It's there. No. It's just I think it's just an infantry unit. I'm not sure. I was looking beyond. It's actually the cavalry that I was looking at. I was like, oh, it's a guard unit in there. I was like, no, that's not right. No. The guard is starting to arrive, though. And there you go. I think this is, no, that's not the famous, where are the famous old guard? There they are in the front lines, where they meant to be. And the building's been taken, I think, by the light infantry. But there is the old guard themselves, marching up, doing their bit. God, they look glorious. Barely ever fought in like the campaigns until like Waterloo. They barely like have ever fought, but you like have to be a veteran to be in it. So obviously you have to serve elsewhere, and then you're going to be a glorified bodyguard. The old guard, or like the Imperial Guard, gets like over 100,000, like 150,000 by like 1815. So that's a very big bodyguard for one man. You see here we're gonna have some. Looks like more light infantry getting set up here. And they're firing at those Swedish troops back there and Delta infantry. Yeah, they don't seem to stand very long, these guys. The French are kind of getting wrecked here a bit. Oh my god, look how close these two units are. Jeez! It's the Illyrian infantry going in against these in Delta. Wow, they were so close. I love their uniforms though. They have actually one of the nicest uniforms I've seen for the French. Got like red and green like feathers, very Christmassy. Yeah, this infantry, yeah, they don't fight very well, clearly. Both units broke. Both units broke, and you can see the French are actually forcing round the flank here and forcing the cavalry back, otherwise they're going to get shot. So that's a bad sign. But the British are coming. The British are arriving. The Peninsular Army is here. These guys are just as much veterans as the Imperial Guard. They fought in dozens of battles in Spain and Portugal. You see King's German Legion. Yeah, King's German Legion, like, foot, all sorts, in red and in, like, their blacky green colours. Got lots of infantry here, the 11th. Again, I think this is, I'd say, a smaller army, possibly, but maybe the Swedish have the smaller army. I don't know. These guys are, like, it's actually quite a large army, I think. It's quite large, I'd say. It's quite a lot of cavalry, you've got to remember. I think the Swedes have the smaller army. and are holding on desperately. Because I can barely see any Swedish forces. But the Swedes are still fighting in these streets. You can see here, doing their bit. They're actually doing a lot of damage to these Wittenberg troops. They're just like firing there. Over there, you can see them over the smoke. The helmets of like the Wittenberg troops under the French control. And they're firing into the backs of them. That's nasty. I mean, they're also shooting around their own men from doing that. But they have done a lot of damage to that unit as well. And now the field's been taken by the French again. I mean, they've actually, yeah, look at this. Look at all the dead that there are for the French. They've taken a lot of losses, I personally think. I mean, what's over here? This is still Ney's troops. The Imperial Guard's going to take the left flank by the looks of it. So any Swedish forces here are going to have a hard time. I mean, there's British cavalry over here. I mean, the British just seem to have units everywhere now. More like dragoons, I should say. Need to be careful to the French that they don't get caught out by those dragoons. More Swedish infantry that needs sending up, really. I mean, there's some chasseurs here that I think they're shooting the general, actually. They're shooting the general. He's hiding behind that building, but they're nearly at the general anyway with infantry. You can see the Wittenberg troops here about to break through. They might break first, I don't know, but the cavalry, I don't know. Oh no, it's not the cavalry. Yeah, I thought I saw the British cavalry was making a move, but it's just falling back even more. They're clearly being scared off by the Mamelukes. I would also be scared off by the Mamelukes. And the Swedish general is gone. The Swedish general has broken. I think to those snipers, or the chasseurs, I should say. At least I think they are, aren't they? Yeah, they are chasseurs. But you can see here, this last unit's been left on its own. It's just like going to get cut off and just like murdered. These poor boys. The Swedes are fighting on hard though. They don't mind. Fight on, men, to the last. To the last. Excellent volleys, excellent volleys. And now you can see the Imperial Guards coming up and these Grenadiers arriving. The old guard Grenadiers, they're here. It's good to see. And Chasseurs coming up as well. These guys are pretty good. I wonder if they have the same range as light infantry, since they're a Chasseur unit, or if they're more like a line infantry sort of thing. Interesting to know. But we'll have a, oh no, they're about to just change. Oh, they're just going to charge in. I mean, I'm not surprised. These guys are the old guard. They are just like really angry men. Yeah, they're going in. They're going in. Oh, there's actually infantry in here. Is this the French in here, or is this the... I'm going to say this is the Swedes in here. Yeah, it's the Swedes. I think the old guard was trying to get in here. And, like, what remains of, like, these... Oh, it's the lifeguards. There's lifeguards in here for the Swedes. Okay. Yeah, they're going to hold on for a while. And we've got cavalry here. This huge cavalry unit, 122 men. And now that's fighting against some Wittenberg troops. And there's also light infantry here. That's fighting against line infantry of Ney's troops as well. It's all starting to hot up. I mean, the British really need to, like, start filing in their own troops. Yeah, I don't know who's fighting in there. Well, actually I do. It's the lifeguard and I think it's the old guard. Yeah, the old guards. The old guard's nearly dead. Wow. 42 men. They're all nearly gone. Jeez, that's a bit anticlimactic. They're already nearly gone. That's a shame. King's Roman Legion and everything else filing in. Wow, this British army is huge. Look at the size of this thing. Highland Foot. Yeah, this is disgustingly big. They need to like just mop up the Swedes quickly if the French want a chance of even winning this. And they need to win the cav fight. But the cavalry, there's some big cavalry. Oh dear. Mamluk's going to get caught out by Hussars of Britain. Yeah, this Mamluk unit's tiny in comparison to the Hussars. 66 men like, against 20. Not a chance. Not a chance. And they need to take this building from the lifeguards if they want to like be able to then use it against the British. Because otherwise they're going to be shot at on the flank by this town hall and also here by the British. I mean, the British are like stacking up infantry here for some reason. They need to be careful. And there you go. The cavalry has broken that Wittenberg unit here. Line infantry broken. And here you go. This is the Portuguese unit, or I believe it's Portuguese. Legion Portuguese or whatever. Portuguese. They do look kind of Portuguese. I'll give them that. They do look kind of Portuguese. And yeah, they're actually going to probably put a lot of damage into that unit. Oh, there's Carabiniers. They need to get out of there. Volley! I don't know why the Portuguese are fighting for the French. They were like the only ones that resisted the French like half-heartedly. Well, not even half-heartedly. More than half-heartedly. With the British. These two ones have fight on the longest against the French. But here they are fighting for them. And they've routed that Swedish unit. Well done. And here we go. The British are now arriving. They're now kind of in here. The King's German Legion look like they're going to be the first into the fight. What are they firing at? They're firing at some Netherlands troops. Oh no, Von Brussels? No, more Wettenberg. More Wettenberg. Okay. Volley? Volley, men? That sounds sort of questionable. Like, are you going to volley? But it's green versus green. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I actually don't know who they dropped there. They didn't shoot at that Wettenberg unit. But they're still fighting over this town hall. I don't know if they're firing into the building, just trying to kill people. I mean, possibly better just to storm it. But maybe they don't like their chances since it's lifeguard. See here, King's German Legion. Oh, there's a charge that's going to go on here. It's going to be some tirailleurs from the Imperial Guard. I do like their uniforms as well, to be fair. And they are going in, and they're going to cut down these British. I'd hope they do, because they're all, well, they're part of the Imperial Guard. Not quite old guard. Yeah. Oh, actually, no. The French are going to break. That's the risk of a bayonet charge, I guess. But I would have really thought they would have won that, possibly. But, I mean, these are also Peninsular infantry. They are also veterans in their own right. You can see here these Wettenberg troops now are duking it out with the British. And more troops around here for the French. They need to really swing around as much as possible. They need to use their weight at all possible. You see the French cavalry is now coming up. Clearly Britain does not want to fight this French cavalry force. I mean, I wouldn't either. This is a lot of nasty stuff. And actually the French are going in to just rout this Swedish unit, I think, properly. And now the fight's going to like start around this corner here on this by the riverbank. So the French are really in here. You can see more Portuguese troops in here now. What else have we got? We've got, looks like more Portuguese. Got some Wettenberg troops. It's a very multinational army, is this? And we've got some Mecklenburg and somewhere else. Schwerin? I don't know how you say that. But they're firing into, like, the reeds. How can they see anything? You can see the Swedes are forming square with their infantry. Mainly because of this cavalry that's here. I mean, that's going to be a close fight. I mean, this is the chasseurs here. Broke. Actually, it's a life guard. Life dragoon, sorry. They really need to get all reserves up to the French. I mean, this is really turning into a bit of an issue for them, like this center here. Since the British have arrived, they're in a real issue. And look at that. I mean, the French are like well in behind now with all their cavalry. The British are well and truly encircled. Oh, they need to be careful. The general's there. I didn't even realize. The French should take out that general. The French need to take out that general. If they can do that, then this British army is in trouble. And they turn the scales way back in favor of the French. But the British have like got so many units in reserve that it's just like, what are you going to do with them, sort of thing. They need to just like start mobilizing them. They can't just like keep them stood here. The French are using basically every available unit, it feels, while the British are keeping stuff held back. And I don't think they can afford to. I don't think either side can afford to hold anything back in this. The British are routing here, but I mean the French aren't going to be too far behind them. Looks like they're just about to break there. There you go, just gone those Wettenberg light infantry. You can see the, oh yeah, you can see the, I think this is the French, what is this, Chevalier Lancers, chasing down Roland Hill. Oh dear, this is a bad way to go. Roland Hill, no! He's dead! Oh god, yeah, just cut down Lancers, what a bad way to go. Pretty sure quite a few British generals died, or certainly Ponsonby, who's a colonel of like the cavalry at Waterloo, died from Lancers. Or he got stabbed by a lance. I don't know if he died. I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah, Roland Hill's gone. I don't know if he's like fully... He's not dead. He might return. The British here losing this fight. This is the Dragoons of the Imperial Guard. There you go. Roland Hill dead. King's Hussars. They are probably going to lose now this fight, now knowing that their general is dead. How they'd know since they're on the wrong side of the battlefield. Well, they've got the Garde du Corps of the Wettenberg troops. These guys are nasty. They've just charged into the back of all these Highland foot, broken them. The French still swinging around here. They are really going for this like sort of like encirclement. Really, it's not really a full encirclement because they like the British could just break out here. There's literally nothing here to stop them. But it looks like they're going to send in more. They're not going to send in more infantry for the charge, are they? They don't need to. Just oh yeah, here they go. They'd rather charge. Why? You're just risking the shots on the flank. They were better just shooting them. Which is kind of surprising because the British usually in history were the experts in like firing as the French that were better in the melee. But you can see there, they have actually broken the unit. But the French won't last much longer. They're going to go into the next one, but they're going to get shot in the back. And then, yeah, look at that. They didn't even make the second charge. Just wasting units doing that. They shouldn't do that. They've got their artillery up here, though. This is huge. This is huge. You can sort of see where it's going to... If I can line that up, you can see where it's going to fire through. It's going to go through this gap here and fire into everything. I mean, they're going to gun down their own retreating men first, and I think rightly so. You can't retreat. The Emperor expects you to die for your country. I don't even know what that hit. Don't even think it hit anything. Don't know what they were aiming for. Yeah, but look at that. The French are well and truly surrounding, and now the British are like having to use every available unit. This King's Own Royal Foot needs to get moving. This needs to get up to the front. It's now shooting its own men in the rear. That's not a good sign. It's shooting its horse artillery as well. That'll do a lot of damage to the morale. Look at that. Just breaks it. I feel like this British player is not as experienced as some of the others. Possibly could be wrong. He may have made a few mistakes. Everyone does it. But, I mean, certainly you do not want to be doing that. Like, firing into the backs of your own men. Just do not want to do it. Certainly in NTW3, it hurts a lot and very quickly. You can see here these... the Portuguese are broken again. And now we've got cavalry coming in. We've got Wittenberg troops, Wittenberg cavalry in here, and they're going to rout this, the Steelbacks. What a name, this foot infantry here. And they're probably going to move on to the next one and then work their way down the line. I don't know how far they'll get down the line because they're already pretty broken themselves. But I mean, yeah, look at this. This cavalry is like still looking really fresh. There's so many Westphalians left. Westphalians and Wittenberg troops. And yeah, look at that, broken. I don't even think they're breaking, like, because of the volley fire. They just know about the cavalry in the back. And there you go. I think that is probably... I mean, the British are now, like, in full retreat. It's not helped that their generals died. But it's, like, what turned from a very, like, even fight, possibly in favor of the British, has turned in favor of the French. Mainly just because of this, that general being killed. You can see here the Kings... They're making a retreat at the British. They are falling back.
Our general is under attack.
A general is under attack. Oh, Ney's must be being shot at. It might be like a rogue shot or something. I don't know what, on the British shell, I was about to say where's the British artillery, but it routed, it got shot by its own men. Never gonna stop. But look at this, yeah, if they start firing on their own men, oh good, they're actually defending the rear, that's good, that's smart. Queen's Own Germans. Yeah, they realise that they're about to get surrounded. This is the final use of the British, and they are doing some quick volley fire for king and country. And the Swedes are still here. I mean, big respect to the Swedes, fighting on. Fighting on. Yeah, the British are repositioning. And it's 3 British against, well, no, 1 British, sorry, against 3 French. I think that's perfectly good odds. But, I mean, these are all... Oh, no, it's Guard Imperial. There's actually quite a lot of Guard Imperial here. Yeah. And there you go, broken. And now they're in a bit of trouble. These 2 units here, they have to reposition. One has to defend the front, one has to defend the back, but it's not good. Oh, jeez, you see that? Like, all these men just, like, got knocked down. Big hole in the line. That's the artillery.
Glorious victory, sir. And
glorious victory is soon to be yours. Yes, you're not wrong. And you can see here the cavalry is trying to come up again. It wants more kills. Wants more kills. And actually, I think they're trying to get inside the building here, which is full. Oh, no, it's just a shame. And they're forming square. They're broken anyway. They've got no choice. Either form square and die to, like, being shot by infantry, or don't form square and die to cavalry. And here we go. The Picarins. Yeah, and that's it. That's basically all the British did. That is kind of weird that the British have died before the Swedes, basically. The Swedes are still fighting in this building in here, and actually the British are in here as well. A bit of the British are in here, but I mean, there you go. We can go some French infantry. I'm sure they'll just swamp in infantry now. And I mean, that would be what I do. I mean, if worst comes to worst, you just use your artillery and just knock the building down. But yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty good battle. I've enjoyed it. I mean, it's always good to watch Napoleon Total War 3. I think the third corps, like the core units, are a bit more powerful than like just the basic factions, which is why like Ney's caused them so well. I think that's what I've been told somewhere. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure like if you got to decide, like you're either doing a whole core battle or you're doing like just general factions. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Oh, what's over here? Oh, we've got an in-skilling unit. Okay, British aren't quite out yet. But yeah, I think it's gone quite well. I think personally, certainly if you're rooting for the French. As a Brit, it's sad to see us do poorly. And there you go. That's a nice save. themselves from the cavalry charge there. I mean, I say that, they got charged and their morale has still been shattered. I mean, their general is dead, their army's gone. They might actually break that unit. You never know. These chasseurs, though, are still here doing their little bit, sniping away, and there you go, broken. And that is probably the end of the battle, I imagine. I think it's just running down like a few random units of the British. These South Gloucestershire units being re-rallied? That's not the right word. I think they've been rallied just the once, Pope. But yes, re-rallied does also kind of work. But I'm just going to fast forward and probably... Oh, the Swedes have something all the way over here. Wow. Yeah, they've like got just random units all over the place. Just like... It's just a light infantry unit. It's in a nice little tower. I'll respect that. It's good for a sharpshooter. That trumpet sounded so sad. I just know the situation right now. It's like, oh god, it's all over. The French are upon us, and they're conquering the world right now. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna fast forward, or well, I'll probably make a quick cut actually for you guys and just fast forward for the rest of the battle. I don't think anything else is really going. It's just running down, breaking units. But yes, I'll see you guys in a moment. So there we go, guys. I mean, all that you missed was just the French storming this building. It didn't take very long. I mean, all they did was just march up, storm in, and that was about it. So, yes, this was sent in by Anzac Warspite, who was playing as Ney's multinational corps from just about every part of the French Empire. And he was playing with Cavalry, who was the Imperial Guard, and look at the size of his army in comparison. Wow, it's like half the size, but I mean, they did really well. They lost like most of their army, but they did pretty well. I mean, they killed more than they lost. I guess that's a plus. But I mean, yeah, Anzac did very well, killing well, 1,700, just over that, and losing just about 1,200. So well done to both the French players and to Karma and Kazitel, who was playing as the British and the Swedes. So we'll quickly have a look at some of the unit stats. We can only unfortunately see Anzac's, so we can only see like how they've done. But as you can see here, his cavalry. I think this is. I know this isn't his cavalry. This is his light infantry. Sorry, this is his light infantry. They got like 200 kills. That's pretty impressive. His dragoons got 198. That did very well. His chasseurs getting 144. His guard cavalry getting 127. And then his best line infantry is this Wittenberg one here, getting 92 kills. It's not too shabby. But you can see, look at all the different nations that there are available for them. They're so good. It's really good to see. Because this was the case, like in like Napoleonic Europe, there was like the French army was not made up just French. It's made up of a lot of Germans, lots of Italians, and Austrians and Prussians at points as well. But yeah, anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this Napoleon Total War 3 battle, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show support. Really helps out the channel. And until next time, Legionnaires, I will see you guys